welcome to Athletic Alert. Alongside Jesse, I'm Rob. The MLB offseason is finally here, and a lot of big things are about to go down.
You sound so excited about the offseason.
That's when things are made, man. That's when teams are built. That's when things happen, baby.
Alright, I agree with that. I like trades and signings and everything. So, alright, there's two options in this new segment. A or B, which stand for above
Or below.
So, we're going to give you a general salary of what this guy should get around. And we're going to say whether we think he deserves above that amount or below that amount. So our first free agent is Zach Greinke. The amount is 5-year, $125 million contract. I'm going to start it off, and I'm going to say below. Although he's coming off, a great year, maybe even a Cy Young year, we'll see. I think 5 years he'll be, 37, 38 by the time this one expires. And I don't think he's going to be nearly as dominant at that point. I think this dominance will last maybe another year or two. And he's never even had an ERA coming close to the one he had this year. So this might have been a little fluky. I think he's going downhill.
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to go with above. Jesse said that he's had one of his best years so far in his career. It's going to be sort of a new trend, baby. And you know what? He's going to get a 6-year contract worth over $150 million. Maybe not with the years, but maybe I think with the money. It's going to be a bidding war for him this offseason. A lot of teams are going to pay him what they think he deserves. Some may be higher than others, and other teams might say, oh, we're going to pay him a lot more. So you're going to throw money at him, and whatever he chooses, that's where he's going to go. Next player is batter Yoenis Cespedes. He will make above or below he will sign a 7-year deal that's worth above or below $175 million.
Well, I'm going to say below. And, this guy is one of the best hitters when he's hot. But when he's cold, he's absolutely garbage. As a Mets fan, I'm used to watching him hot and cold. And I love watching his throws to the plate too, but he can't even field a regular ball. So I think to surround a team by paying this much for a player like Yoenis, they would have to be consistently good. They'd have to be good at more than just a couple things. He's got unbelievable power potential. He's got a great arm, but I think he's got little mistakes here and there. He's very hot and cold. And I think if you're surrounding a team by one player, you don't want a guy like that.
I'm going to disagree with Jesse again. I'm going to go with that he's going to make above that total. The Mets brought him to their team for a reason. Not for a short-term deal, but for a long-term contract, and they're going to pay him. The Mets aren't known for paying players. That is going to change. No one thought they were going to bring in Yoenis Cespedes. That happened. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be shocked to see the Mets spend big money on him, and if they don't, other teams are going to pay him what they think he deserves. Like you said, he's a really hot pitcher. He was a big
Great pitcher.
hot hitter at the trade deadline, and a lot of people wanted him, and the Mets were lucky that they got him. So teams will pay him what they think he deserves, and they think he deserves a lot.
I think his playoff performance might decrease his value just a little bit.
He'll improve.
At least does for me.
Let's go to the next guy.
Next guy, another pitcher, David Price. The contract would be a 5-year, $100 million contract, and I'm going to say above. I think that's just about right, but a little bit above works for me. This guy is always just a great pitcher, year in, year out, and he changed teams in the middle of the year, and he still stuck to his great ERA. He stuck without good pitchers around him on the Blue Jays team, and he just did it himself with the pitching rotation he had. And I think he deserves more than $20 million a year.
He was even better on the Blue Jays, in my opinion, and he led the Blue Jays to the playoffs. Maybe not solely on his shoulders, but he led them. He was a big part of it. A lot of teams will see this. They're going to pay him more than that, so I'm going to agree with Jesse and say that he gets above that salary. There's a lot that you can say for him, and Jesse explained it all. The next guy is Justin Upton. He will make above or below 6 years and $100 million.
I think he deserves above that amount. I know this is a guy that you don't think of as always as an amazing player. He strikes out a lot, but I think he's got great potential. He's still young. He's got a lot of power. He even has some speed in him. I think he's a good threat for any lineup in the middle of any lineup, and I think he deserves even more than 6-year, $100 million.
I'm going to go with below. I'm going to disagree with you. He was plagued to be on a bad team with the San Diego Padres. They were awful this year. They made so many moves, and you know what happened? Nothing. Garbage. Nada. So you know what's going to happen? Teams are going to see, hey, you're on the bad team with the San Diego Padres. Why should we give you more than what Jesse and Rob said on Athletic Alert? You know why? Because, like you said, he strikes out, he's a streaky hitter, And he's a great player. He's 28 years old and he has a lot of potential, but teams are going to wait, maybe sign him to a 2-year deal to see if he can fulfill that potential and be a great player.
I know you're talking about other teams, but do you think he deserves below?
He's got to prove it to me as well.
All right.
Really didn't.
Let's move on to another pitcher, Johnny Cueto, and the contract would be a 4-year, $80 million contract. That's $20 million a year. I'm going to say above for Johnny Cueto. Although he struggled a lot going to the Royals mid-year, it is hard to exchange teams, right in the middle of the year, especially as a pitcher, moving into a different rotation. Remember the year before the 2015 season, he was just a super dominant, one of the best pitchers in the league, and right after getting used to being on the Royals, he fit right in, brought them all the way, they won the World Series, and that really says it all. If a pitcher leading your rotation can bring you to the World Series, they must have done something for you.
Right, I'm going to go with above as well. Johnny Cueto, the complete game, 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run. The 2 hits were allowed to one guy. And a lot of teams are going to say, wow, this guy's great under pressure. If we put him with some other great pitchers, he will definitely win the World Series again. And I don't know if he leaves Kansas City, honestly. If they're willing to spend that money and they already have a good club put together, why would he leave? But let's go to our next guy in Alex Gordon. He will get above or below a 4-year, $60 million contract, Jesse.
4 years, $60 million. I think he deserves above that. Although he's not really considered one of the best, he's a great guy on and off the field. He's an amazing fielder. Obviously, we know that. He's good at the plate too, and I think he's got a good balance of everything on the field. And like I said, a lot of people like him off the field because he's a very good guy. And I think he's a good guy to have on any team. He can hit any spot in the order for any lineup. So
I'm going to have to go with Jesse on this one. He's going to get above. If you're not a Kansas City Royals fan, you really don't know who he is. But if you watch the World Series, you definitely know with those big hits and big time fielding and catches and stuff. He's a great leader, like Jesse said, on and off the field. Teams love that kind of guy. And like I said, Kansas City doesn't let their free agents go that very well. So I'm going to say that maybe he comes back to Kansas City, but I'm not sure. But he would definitely get above that 4-year, $60 million mark. And that's a wrap for today's show. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you thought about this video. We really enjoyed filming it.
Share with your friends also. We're glad you got us to a lot of subscribers. We really thank you for that. And keep it going. And we're going to keep growing and putting up more videos. Thank you for watching again. See you next time.